You'll be shocked, but as a student working part-time, you can earn huge money. How? That's what I want to tell you about. Today you'll learn about what vacancies exist where you can get in without experience, where do they pay the most, and how to find remote work. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you about a real gold mine where almost anyone can earn. Enjoy watching. Where to work? Many guys who have just finished school and are about to enter student life ask themselves one question: where to get money for hanging out with friends, buying a new phone, or taking a friend to the movies? And today, I would like to share my personal experience with you. Yes, before starting to record videos, I was involved in many things, so I definitely have something to tell you. For example, the first job I took was at a local restaurant as a waiter. Honestly, I enjoyed working there because the team was great. Overall, it's a great way to earn money in a short time because the vacancy of waiters is always open. Why? Because this job is very physically demanding. And I'm not kidding right now, spending 12 hours on your feet running from one floor to another and carrying heavy trays is not an easy task. But you can work half shifts as part-time. Being a waiter is not just about serving food, you also have to maintain cleanliness in the dining area. If there's dirty dishes on a table somewhere, you need to pick it up immediately so that your clients, or in my case guests, are satisfied. Also, a waiter must know the restaurant menu thoroughly. Even chefs and bartenders don't know as much about dishes and drinks as a waiter. You must keep every ingredient in mind because a guest may come who doesn't like black pepper in their salad. In general, it's quite a hassle to memorize the menu, especially if it's huge. What can I say? All guests will ask you if a dish is tasty, so you need to regularly taste them. In general, being a waiter is not easy at all, but it's perfect for people who easily get along with everyone, and also for resilient guys. Most importantly, they hire for such jobs without experience and education, so it's suitable for everyone. And what about the salary? It all depends on your work. Essentially, waiters work for themselves. After all, most of the earnings come from tips, and of course, there is a fixed rate and a percentage of sales. But they rarely exceed tips. So, in a good region or in the center of a metropolis, a waiter can earn very decent money. Somewhere from $1,000 to $2,000 is normal for quality restaurants. But unfortunately, my experience wasn't that colorful. I earned about $500 to $600 a month, though I only worked for 2 months. Courier Work. After working as a waiter, I decided that I needed a job where I would have less contact with people. After all, not all the guests who came to the establishment were reasonable. So I went to work as a courier. Luckily, nowadays there are a colossal number of such vacancies. After all, there are deliveries from establishments and there are simple aggregators. I went to work just from an aggregator, and my task was to deliver food from restaurants. You may ask, why did I choose to work as a courier? Because in this job, you choose your own schedule. That is, you can easily combine studying and working, and you're constantly out in the fresh air, which is great for your health. And carrying a heavy bag is also kind of workout, and you can consider this as an outdoor gym, but you also get paid. How hard is this job? Well, it depends. Personally, it was easy for me because I'm physically strong, so I didn't experience any difficulties. And you don't need much interaction with people, so after my previous work experience, this vacancy seemed wonderful to me. And the main question, what about payment there? Generally, those who work daily and with long shifts earn quite a lot of money. $1,000 is considered normal for a courier in a metropolis, and personally, I earned around $200 to $300 for part-time work 2 to 3 times a week. Not much, but enough for hanging out with friends. And there are many advantages to this job, so I advise you to try yourself in this path. Maybe this side job suits you. Fast food work. But where I don't recommend going to work is in various fast food restaurants. Naturally, there are no prospects there, and you can't call this work easy. Although maybe I was unlucky, there are many guys who work there for years, get a pretty good salary, and everything suits them. So why don't I recommend such vacancies? Firstly, coming there, you'll work as anything but you wanted. Literally. Personally, I wanted to try myself as a cook who prepares burgers, but on my first day, I spent it cleaning the floors in the restroom. The second day, I worked as a loader, and on the third day, I was in charge of cleanliness in the dining area. And so on in a circle for a whole month. Naturally, I didn't like it at all, and I quickly left. But if you're lucky, you can be put behind the stove or cash register almost immediately. However, there are also drawbacks, often significant ones. The stove, for example, never turns off, so burns from oil are quite common. Not to mention the fryer for French fries, and at the cash register, you constantly encounter unreasonable clients. Just look at the videos from the internet where some psychos throw drink cups at cashiers or worse, pour hot coffee in them. Real horror. Anyone can go work in fast food, though not everyone will like it there. This job didn't suit me, but there are advantages to such work. Firstly, stable salary. Secondly, certain benefits for employees, and thirdly, a flexible schedule. If you agree to it, of course, so such work can be quite suitable for a student looking for a side job. And the salaries in such establishments are more or less okay. You can easily earn $300 to $400 a month, and again, not much, but enough for a meal. Barista. But there is one vacancy that I like much more. It's the job of a barista. Why? Because if you get into a good coffee shop, you can find yourself in a very decent environment. And the guests who come to you will be extremely pleasant. So, making new acquaintances there won't be difficult. Personally, I enjoyed interacting with creative folks who came to our establishment to work freelance. You could talk to them about anything, and they could give you a lot of advice. In fact, thanks to such communication, I started making YouTube videos. Being a barista, I must say, is not complicated. Essentially, you just need to brew coffee, and personally, I didn't have any brewing experience. The main thing is to be careful because you can still get burned by hot steam. And the salary might appeal to many of you. $20 per shift is normal. And you can set any schedule you want. I worked on weekends and one day during the week when there were no classes at the university. And for such work, I earned around $200 without much effort and stress. But I want to jump ahead a bit. There are vacancies where you can earn even more. Computer club work. For example, I started working in a computer club and it's a paradise for gamers. After all, you can chat with all the guests about the games you both love. And the community that gathers there is quite reasonable. And most importantly, they pay around $20 per shift. Why do I praise this job so much? Because if you get into a good club, you won't be short of customers. So there'll always be someone to chat with, and you can easily play games in many places. When there's no rush of visitors, you can relax and play console games with friends, so it's a great option for those who want to earn money and play games at the same time. However, there is one big but that is often omitted. A computer club administrator often has to work night shifts. For some, this can be a big problem. Personally, I started working in a computer club in the summer, so there were no issues with working at night. And closer to autumn, when classes started, I switched to day shifts. And I easily combined it with studying. And most importantly, I earned up to $500 per month. Simply enjoying the work, granted, and I had to work hard for that salary, but I enjoyed it. Copywriter work. You might logically ask, if I like this job so much, then why did I leave? Well, actually, it's logical and simple. I found a much more interesting vacancy. I just decided that working from home is the best idea of all. So I started looking for ways to make money online, and I came across a copywriter vacancy, and what's it about? Well, it's about simply finding certain texts and rewriting them. The main thing in the job is to make the text unique, not just copy and paste parts of an article. I worked for a blog that was produced on a special platform. I had to write about literally everything. The work was quite simple, but it paid very well. For example, for one text that took me about an hour, I received from $5 to $10. Agree? It's good pay, isn't it? And the most important thing was that I spent very little time on all this, and I could work right from the university on my laptop. This was especially helpful when I had to sit through boring lectures. My classmates were just chatting, playing with their phones, or doing other study tasks, and I was earning money. So it's a very cool option for work that would suit any student. Well, I'll tell you, in a month of effortless work, I earned somewhere between $200 to $300, and like in many previous jobs, but the effort was much less. Video editor work. And then I got a job as a video editor, also one of the vacancies online, and most importantly, completely remote. Here, it was a bit more challenging, but the pay was slightly better. The thing is, I almost didn't know how to edit videos, and although I tried my hand at this craft before, but at some point, I always gave up. And how fortunate I was to get a job in this company. After all, I learned a lot of life hacks. For example, you don't need to create all those cool effects, transitions, or pop-up captions from scratch. There are special websites where there are a huge number of such effect templates. It's enough to just subscribe and you'll get full access to the site. And another plus, the resource I used also included stock videos and photos, so finding them during editing was very easy. I had to work for several hours a day, and the payment reached around $300 to $400 per month. Again, not much, but enough for a student's life. Especially considering that I easily combined this work with studying. So guys, I advise everyone to learn this craft. After all, in today's world, the media sphere is developing at a huge pace, so you'll definitely be able to find a good place for yourself. Tutoring work. And now, I'd like to share with you one thought. The more you know, the more you can earn. Although during school, it might not seem that way. Why do I think so? Well, because one of my acquaintances knew school subjects excellently. She got into a prestigious university and started working as a tutor while studying there, and let me tell you, there's a lot of money involved. For example, 1 hour of individual online tutoring with a child can cost between $5 to $10, and this is at a time when not many people know about you. And there are also a few reviews of your work. But my friend was getting $15 per hour. She only needed to work 4 hours a day, and she easily earned over $1,000 per month. In reality, this is a real gold mine, but you need to have your own special qualities here. Without good knowledge, you won't become a tutor. Actually, if you can't explain things clearly to people, then this job won't be suitable for you either. I, for example, tried my hand at this craft, and nothing worked out for me. Students simply didn't want to come to me because my university wasn't that prestigious. Conclusion. Friends, despite the fact that many of these vacancies are quite controversial and have many pitfalls, it's important to understand that work experience will always come in handy in life. For example, by the end of my university studies, I already knew exactly what I wanted to do in life. And no, I didn't pursue my specialty, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing this video. I started developing in the media field, recording videos, preparing scripts, and editing videos, and most importantly, I do all this from the comfort of my warm home. Although this option of work won't suit everyone, some people prefer to work from an office and they just can't concentrate at home. It's all individual, but that's not the point of my thought. The main thing during student years is to understand who you want to work as. Just going with the flow isn't an option. What if you don't like the profession you choose? And changing it won't be an option because you live independently and you urgently need money. So all these side jobs are very necessary, and I strongly recommend that you go through your own career path. Did you like this video? If you want to hear more life stories or for me to share my experience with you, then write in the comments. I'll definitely read them and take your opinion into account. And thank you for watching.